he knew when he was 6, he saw the thing. I just made a song for fun. And then when that happened, I was like, oh, this is like fun. Like I put myself out there. I put myself out of my comfort zone. I was like, I never made a song, but like, let me try it. Yeah. And then like that allowed me to find that thing.
The most important thing, once you find it, do not be afraid to execute it. Because that could like make or break you. Because if you find it, I've like talked to so many people who are like, I think I want to do this, but I'm like afraid of like, you know, doing this, and trying to like failing.
Yeah.
It's like
putting yourself out there.
You can't have that mindset. Yeah. Be in the mindset that it will work and it's going to work.
Purpose in the youth. Purpose in the youth podcast. Welcome back to the Purpose in the Youth podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Purpose in the Youth podcast with your favorite bearded man, the one, the only Bobbbaaaay. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Purpose in the Youth podcast with your favorite bearded man, the one, the only Bobbbaaaay. Today in the studio, Gianni and Kyle. 2 people with the bearded man. Let's go.
Let's go.
How we doing?
What up, people?
Dude, first podcast for the kid with 2 guests. This is going to be interesting. I got to like balance who I'm looking at. And I want you to think I'm favoring, okay? So I'm just going to be trying to go back and forth and show the love, but what's going on?
I'm used to Gianni taking all the credit.
He takes all the credit?
Yeah.
I will talk
so
the
just
entire
stare
time.
at him.
Just stare at
him and just let me be over here.
You just want to be in the background.
Yeah,
you just want to be part of it.
I'm just here to listen. You know? Yeah, exactly.
This is really a Gianni podcast.
Yeah,
Kyle's here to just make sure that he like throws in a couple gems, make himself sound good.
It's all about me.
Dude, unreal. You guys are just getting back from, I think it was 8 shows in Europe with Hoodie Allen.
9 shows.
9 shows.
Yeah, who's counting, right?
Okay, who's counting? Sorry, guys. 9 shows in Europe.
But yeah.
On top of that, you did 30 plus cities nationwide with him.
Yeah.
I want you to think back to when you guys are in high school and you guys are just reconnecting again to start making music. Like, what would you tell yourself now, knowing what you know now, with everything that's happening in your life?
Don't worry. It's going to work out. Because I feel like in the beginning, honestly, though, I feel like we were always in the mindset that this was exactly what was going to happen the entire time. You know what I mean? It was just like, I feel like we're more stressed now that this is our actual jobs, and it's like we really have to like invest ourselves and like, you know, this and that. But like back then we're like, all right, let's just keep doing it till it starts working. Yeah. Like I was never like, is it gonna work? I never had that doubt in my mind at all. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's like I was like already in the mindset like of like what I am now in terms of like the success and the fact that people are actually listening. I was like, I feel like that's the mindset you need to have though. If like you have doubt in yourself at all, you know what I mean? It's like, why even bother in the first place?
Yeah, it's so funny that you say that you feel like you're more stressed now that you're actually in it, whereas back then you're just creating for fun. You don't like you guys. There's literally just this big question mark of the unknown. Nobody's listening. Nobody's paying attention. There's no wrong or right way to do any of this.
Exactly.
And now it's like all eyes are on you. Yeah. Everybody's watching every move. You have to make sure that you keep leveling up. You got to make sure that the music keeps producing at that scale. So then the pressure comes on, and now you're a full running business.
Right. So yeah, at the end of the day, like that's like what some people don't realize is that it's a business. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of like moving factors and like this and that, a lot of behind the scenes stuff that people don't see at all. Yeah. You know, they just see like the music and the stuff that we post on Instagram and Twitter. It's like there's so much more. That
literally just making the music is like almost the smallest part of it. There's so much more that goes into it.
Yeah.
What do you think has been the biggest like financial lesson you've learned now that going from the whole we're making music for fun, now it's a business. Clearly you have to be smart with your money. You can't just take all this money.
We haven't done shit with our money. Like we are on the same wave of like being homeless when we first get out. Like we don't do shit with our money. Like we take out a specific number like every month. Just put the rest in that savings account.
Smart.
And that's our budget.
And then you just use that other money to reinvest clothes
like
or merch.
Music videos, you know, stuff like that. Just like getting us to Europe in the first place when we did that tour. It's like little big things like that. That's when we try to invest like the big money into. But, you know, in terms of like our personal lives, we are in the same exact mindset of how we were when we were homeless couch hopping. You know what I mean? Like, because that's like, like saving your money is like, you know, the easiest thing to do.
Important.
And it's super important too.
I think also because you're coming from like as much of the grind sometimes I think we all hate of like just wanting to get to that place, like having that remembering of sleeping on a couch on a studio floor, that's gonna be in the back of your mind for the rest of your life, so that when you're trying to make these smart decisions, you're like, wait a second, I was sleeping on a bed. Like, I don't need this bougie ass shit. I don't need to buy into this lifestyle. I don't need to go out and flex. Like, I know exactly where I'm coming from. And on top of that, it's like people, probably because I see a lot within the music just from being around a lot of people within music, but it's like people don't realize it costs money to go on tour.
Yeah.
To go open for somebody, it costs money. You guys aren't just like staying at the Ritz-Carlton and you got room service every day. Like it's a hustle, it's a grind. You got to put in your time to get to that point where then it's all paid for, and then it's, you know, Gianni and Kyle's tour, you know. But let's go back. I really do think there is importance of like painting the picture of how somebody gets to where they are today. And I think it's extremely important to talk about kind of like your guys' roots. Growing up in Maryland, is it in Annapolis or is it Edgewater? I couldn't figure out because I've seen different interviews. Are
basically
you guys...
Annapolis?
Yeah, Annapolis.
Yeah. I like lived in the city Edgewater, which is like part of Annapolis.
And are you originally from Long Beach?
Yeah.
How do you know these things? What's going
on?
It's like Nardwuar.
Put your seatbelt on, boys. All right, you guys don't know what you signed up for. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
What do you know?
So before we get to Maryland, then when did you move to?
So I was born in Long Beach. I grew up with my dad, and he was in the Coast Guard. So basically, every like 3 to 4 years, we'd just be moving like across the country. But like 6th grade is when, at the end of 6th grade is when I went to Maryland, and then I stayed there for like 8 years.
Okay.
So that's like home. Like,
but
really.
Both Annapolis, that's what it's called.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Basically. Yeah.
And what is this environment like? How do you describe this as somebody who's growing up in
suburban?
Suburban.
There's
Quiet.
like, you know, everyone kind of knows everyone type deal. I mean, you know, people go to the same bars, do the same things, which is fine. I mean, that's definitely fine. But like in terms of what we wanted to do, it's like there's only so much that is there for us, and that's why we feel we had to move out here in the first place. It's because we felt like we did everything that we could do in Maryland, and you know, so that's why we wanted to level up ourselves.
Yeah, you want to be where the big boys are at.
Yeah.
Who do you think was one of the most positive role models for you growing up? Both of you.
Gosh,
I'm gonna put that mic as close to you as it can.
For me, my dad. Definitely my dad. Well, my parents, but like especially my dad, because I grew up with him my whole life. So he always taught me, like, just be on some like be early. Like we showed up early. He's like, be early. Don't like if something has to get done, just do it yourself. Like if you need to do something and it's easier to do it, just like do it. Doesn't matter. And just like hard work. Just like work, because there's always gonna be someone more talented than you. Like I swam like competitively, so he especially with that, he was always like, there's always gonna be someone faster than you who's like has better genetics than you, whatever. But that doesn't mean that person is gonna outwork you. You can always outwork that person. That's definitely like I take that with us still, like even in making music.
Yeah. What about yourself?
I think every person in my family kind of had like a piece of, you know, how I structure myself now. Even like both my parents and even I have a twin sister as well. But so for my dad, he like really taught me. He's like a hard Italian guy, so like he taught me the value of $1. You know what I mean? He made me like, he understood like hard work means this amount of money, and also save your money. So it's like, you know, he definitely taught me that route. My mom just taught me how to be like a nice person. You know, it's like be like genuinely good person. She like still stresses that to this day. As long as you keep being true to who you are and like stay in that same mindset, because like no matter what level of success you have, it like at the end of the day, if you're a shitty person, I don't want to fuck with you at all. It doesn't matter who you are, how much clout you have. It doesn't matter. If you're not a good person, stay the fuck away from me. I don't care. And then my sister is my twin sister, but we like, you know, we grew up together. We have the same group of friends. She kind of sees everything that goes on in my life, because like she's there for all of it. So she kind of makes sure that I have like, you know, a good head on my shoulders, and like kind of sees like, hey, don't do this, do this. She kind of like guided me.
She's like a mentor for you.
Yeah, it's like we're kind of like helping each other out, because we're always
like partners. I mean,
we were always on the same platform. You know what I mean? We were like, you know, we went to the same college together. We did this. We did everything together. You know, it's like it was hard like moving away from her, but she always saw what I was investing myself into, and she was just like, she was also like, you know, making sure I was like staying on the right track of like, honestly, she's way smarter than me, and she's like, she has got like, you know, a full 9 to 5. She's like so smart, so it made me want to be on her level of like, if she's doing these things in terms of like, because I have my college degree as well. I went to the University of Maryland. So it's like, if she's doing it, I can do it too. Even though I didn't want anything to do with college, and I don't use my degree now, obviously. But you know, in terms of that, you know, just making sure that I remain true to myself and, you know, all that stuff. So I feel like every person in my family.
Those lessons end up being, see, that's the thing. It's like, it's not until you get older, until we're in our 20s that we can actually reflect. Because when we're 17, 18, we're not sitting there like reflecting on life, thinking about like, oh, these are all great lessons. But it's really been in the last 2 years for myself of realizing, holy shit, how lucky am I that my parents taught me to work hard for myself, to be a good person. Like all these little simple lessons that I thought were just normal to other people aren't. And so it's like, you're talking about showing up on time. You're talking about, you know, just I could imagine the disciplines your father's teaching you, being in the Coast Guard, and then yourself, like even your mom just saying, be a good person, or the father saying, you know, be smart with your money. All those little lessons guide you, as we start off the podcast about being smart with your business now. So it's like, you don't even realize it at the time when you're growing up, how important these lessons are and how important the environment you're raised in and the people you're surrounded by. That essentially is going to set you up for success later down the line. I had saw that. So you guys originally connected freshman year of high school at South River Senior.
How do you know this?
In tech class.
What?
So you guys connect freshman year, don't talk, it seems like, for a couple of years. And then senior year, Gianni's copying off of Kyle's final exam. I think that was the tech class. Sorry, you guys
totally copied.
He's shaking his head about
it.
We
both definitely failed that too. I don't know why you decided to copy.
Can we give a shout out to the
off
tech
me.
teacher? Who was it?
Shout out Mr. Zivic, man. I don't know. You're probably not gonna watch this, but I mean, I cheated.
Maybe he's paying attention from afar now. But what escalates the relationship that senior year you guys reconnect and start making music together?
I think it's because my entire life no one knew that I could sing, not even my family. I was like really concerned about fitting in because I moved from like elementary school to like 6th grade, so like that's like brand new school, brand new, you know, town. I wanted just to make friends and fit in, you know, whatever. Doesn't matter now, but so I was really insecure about the fact that I wanted to sing because no one was really doing that. Everyone was like, you know, I do sports and I do this, do that. It was never like, oh, here's like the guy that could sing. You know, no one was doing that in my town. So I was really insecure about it, and I didn't really want to approach it because I was afraid of what people might think about me. And then, you know, as time kept going, like my sister was known for something, all my friends were known for something, like in terms of sports or clubs, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And I was kind of the guy that was sitting back like, I'm known for really nothing at school. And that really, you know, screwed with me because I was like, I feel like I have something to offer, but I was just too afraid of, you know, really exposing my talents to the world, you know, and seeing, you know, if I was going to get judged or whatever. But then my senior year of high school, I remember there was a girl. I was looking at music colleges in one of my classes in high school. And I remember this girl that I was friends with. I won't mention her name, but she walked in and she saw that I was looking at these music colleges. She was like, why are you looking at these colleges? You don't have a talented bone in your body. She didn't mean it the way that she said it, but that really rubbed me the wrong way. Yeah. And I was like,
know this.
Yeah, it's I'll talk about it later. But I'm not gonna say no.
No cuts. No cuts.
She's still cool. But oh god, I really hope she doesn't realize that's her. But anyway, so that really rubbed me the wrong way. Even though she didn't mean it the way that she said it, but I was like, I feel like I have this thing to offer, and I'm like, why am I not sharing this with the world? Even though this is what I want to do with my life. Yeah. I mean, I've been knowing that I want to do music since I was literally like 6. I saw the NSYNC Bye 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 music video, and I was like, that's what I want to do.
Oh, it's so classic.
I literally saw Justin Timberlake. I was like, that's what I want to do.
So classic.
So I've been wanting to do this for a long time, and then I finally was just like, fuck it, I'm gonna buy like some shitty studio equipment, put out this shitty Drake cover on YouTube, and then see what people think. And then I remember I tweeted. Actually, it was my friend that tweeted out the link. It wasn't even me. I like stayed away from the internet that day. and then he reached out on Facebook literally the next day on some like what.
Well, I feel like now we have to pause and tell my story of how I started making music.
I'm gonna try to find that message.
Please do. This is the good thing about having Facebook. You can look it up.
I'm gonna try to find it.
So my story of starting music is way less awesome. Like, I was sucked at music. I was always like artistic. So like when I went to college, I was an art major and everything. But in high school, I was like the kid in the art classes who didn't talk to anyone or whatever. So I had Spanish class and we had to do a project, and you can either do like a poster, a PowerPoint, or like make a song, and you just play it. So I have really bad anxiety, and I did not want to go and talk in front of the class. So my friend, like, he knew GarageBand, just pulling like loops in and shit. So, and he was a year ahead of me in Spanish. So I was like, yo, can you help me with this Spanish rap? Because I know that you're like hard as shit on GarageBand. I know you have this Rock Band mic. Like literally a USB, like the Rock Band like game.
Yeah. And
we plugged it in and we made a remix to Teach Me How to Dougie
called
Beefsteaky Queso.
Oh, God.
Steak and cheese. My pura vida, my pure life was steak and cheese sandwiches. So I made that song my sophomore year of high school. Yeah. And then it was so garbage. We like sampled Waka Flocka going like, Flocka! Like in the background. Yeah, no, like actually though. Like just press play in the class and everything. And everyone was like, what the fuck? Like, okay, like what? Like this is terrible. I remember like pitching my voice down so it was like sounded like this because I was like, bro, I sound way too white. Like we need.
You wanted to like
we need to sound hard. Yeah. And I remember we made it. And my friend Michael was like, okay, well, that was a thing. Like, whatever. Like, let's go back to our normal lives. And I was like, dude, no, I feel like if we kept doing this, we could get good. Like, it could actually get good. So then it was just like 2.5 years of making like the worst like remixes, but like making them about swim, like swim team, because I swam.
That's so fire, though.
Everyone,
that's so fire.
Because Michael, the guy that helped me, he was like my best friend, and he swam with me like at Naval Academy. So we all swam. All my friends from swimming would like go over to his house. Like I'd never partied, I never did anything. We would just go over to his house and like make remixes of like DJ Khaled remixes. Like I'm on one. It's like I swam one or some dumb shit like that. Like the dumbest shit. But all of us loved it, but none of us like released it. So no one knew that I was like making music.
On it. You would just sit on it.
Yeah, we were just doing it like for everyone. Like I would send it to my boy Vadim and Bennett, and like we would all just like
share through the homies.
Yeah, everyone on swim team. So then he dropped that shit, and I was like...
You had the confidence.
Yeah,
so
you said,
fuck it.
He actually had the talent to, like, sing, but then Michael and I had the talent of, like, oh, we've been doing this for 3 years. Like, we know how to, like, sound good, like, mixing-wise and everything like that. Like, we make our own beats now at this point. And he, like, could sing good. He just had no idea how to make himself sound good.
Yeah.
Wow.
So then this message on Facebook I found September 19th, 2012.
Wow.
6:15 p.m. Hey man, I just wanted to say that I love what you're doing with your music.
Is this me?
Yeah.
Is it? Oh,
I actually downloaded the Drake cover, and have it in my iTunes. I just wanted to say that I support you, dude. Michael, the guy that he just mentioned, Michael told me that he already messaged you, but if you ever need beats or want a collaboration or anything, that would be sick.
Wow.
Nice work, man.
What'd you say?
I said, man, seriously means a lot. Thanks so much. If I get any ideas, I'll hit you guys up for sure. It's crazy that people actually are like putting it in their iTunes and actually are being supportive. It means a lot. It's like, dude, seriously, keep going with it. You definitely have a ton of talent. It's awesome. I subscribe to your YouTube channel, so looking forward to some more music.
Again, we like didn't. It's not that we didn't like fuck with each other. We just never talked.
Yeah.
Like that freshman year, like that was my first like time in that high school. So I didn't know anyone. So like, even though we sat next to each other and he copied off, like we talked like 4 times.
Just like in class, hey, what's up, dude? Like that's it.
And then like once that semester ended, just like didn't talk ever again.
Wow.
Like we'd see each other all the time because our names are so close. Like in the alphabet, we're right next to each other in the yearbook. Mm-hmm. But like so even what was that one class? Was that
advisory?
Class? Yeah, advisory, where like they have people by like last names.
Homeroom.
Yeah, it's homeroom.
Yep.
So we would always be in homeroom
same one.
for like 4 years of high school, where we just never even were friends or anything.
Yeah.
So that was the first. That was the first communication.
Yeah. Is there a lot of people that say, "Hey, are you guys brothers?"
Dude, literally yesterday we were at the bank and someone said, "Are y'all twins?" I said, "No."
I actually have a twin, but not him.
Like, literally, I'd say that every single time. We just like being around someone for like every day for 6 years, you're gonna end up looking like them a little bit. I feel like.
In high school, when you guys are like kind of just starting to get into this music a little bit, 2012 is when Logic's starting to really kind of do well, and he's from Maryland.
Yeah.
So was that like inspiring you to see somebody else from the same state that you guys are living in? And at that time, I think I got put on to him in 2009. So like 2011, 2012, he's really starting to do well. Yeah. How inspiring was it for you guys to see Logic?
2011 is like when I first found him. I think it was Undeniable. Yeah. That's that second mixtape he put out. And I remember like finding that and being like, holy shit, like this is insane. Like this guy's literally like 30 minutes away and he's like actually doing shit. I definitely stole every single flow that he did. Like I tried to sound exactly like him.
Yeah.
Like that's the impact that he had on me. Like I was totally just wanting to be him basically.
Yeah.
And then just from the other perspective of like, oh, this guy's like actually doing it too. Like he's coming out from. Like,
if he's doing it, we can do the same.
It was like
shit.
literally, it was just like if he's from Maryland and he can do it, like what? There's no excuse why we can't. You know what I mean? The biggest like I feel like issue, not even issue. That's like a wrong word, but like the difference is that I feel like once it's like when you try to start this thing up and you're like, oh, I want to make music, blah blah blah. It's like typically the first thing you do is like, I want to be a rapper. Like that's the first thing, right? But like we were making pop music. You know what I mean? So that was like the difference. Like we're like the only ones in our city making pop music, like straight up. And that's why people kind of like
everyone hated.
Yeah, everyone looked at us a little bit different in the beginning because they're like, why the fuck? Like, what is this?
Oh, lame. What is this
like,
pop music?
What is it? Yeah, it's like, where's the SoundCloud link of like your rap shit? I'm like, I'm a singer. It's like that doesn't make any sense to me. But
it's funny because I had seen another interview where I think Gianni had said something about once we started getting a following, everyone started to care. So it's like you got to go through those early years of nobody. Everyone's like looking at you cross-eyed, like these guys are trying to be pop artists. Like the girl that walked in and saw you looking at music school. Why are you looking at music school? You're not gonna go. Yeah. But now that same girl from afar is probably like, holy shit, these guys figured this shit out, and you guys just had a vision. I mean. That to me is the beauty of it, of all these guests that I've had, is that at some point in their life they just decided this is what I want to do and there's no other option and I'm gonna find a way to make this work. So if you guys are so like you kind of get this music going in high school, you end up going to the University of Maryland. Did you end up going to Rowan University?
Yeah, for a
year. What walking into college, like what's the game plan? Why even go to college if you think you really want to do music?
For me, it was to make my parents happy. Yeah, it was literally, I was just like, all right, it's not working right now. But like, I felt like it was like the thing I just needed to do.
Did they support you with it?
Oh, 100%. My parents were so supportive. Okay. But it was more
Same
just,
to you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, 100%. Like, they were like, all right. It was actually really funny. Like, just taking it back real quick, just a side thing. My mom, when I started making music in the first place, my mom was just like, I always had an idea because in preschool, your preschool teacher said you were always singing in class. I don't remember this at all, but she said you were always singing in class. And I remember she came out to me one day after class, like to my mom, and said, one day your son's going to be a singer. Like 100%. This is going to be his job.
Wow.
And he's like, and she always remembered that. And when I started doing it, she's like, I'm not surprised at all. So they were always super supportive. Like both her and my dad, my sister, everyone. But sorry, what was the question?
I was
college.
Like,
college, right.
You're working,
but like, yeah,
into
at
college.
that point, we literally, I think, it was my sophomore year of college, right? When we actually literally became Gianni and Kyle. We were making music as separate artists at the time.
We were kind of just like cheering each other on, like
literally.
Oh,
we were making. It was like me, him, and then that guy Michael that we mentioned, Michael Seberg. Shout out Michael.
Shout out to Michael.
But we were all literally just making music together, but we were making music under separate artist names. So we were like, it was literally the exact same sound though, but we just never clicked to be like, why don't we just
should do this together?
Yeah. And then it was like my sophomore year of college when we're like, all right, every song that we put out together are the ones that do the best. And when I mean the best, it means like 1,000 plays rather than 100. You know what I mean? So
like in a year.
Yeah, and like 1,000. like
let's go.
Yeah, exactly. So we're like,
that's also the main reason why we went to college, because it's like we knew that we wanted to make music, but it was also like, it's not like it's working. Yeah. Like we want to just like make it in our free time.
Yeah.
Because it's fun as shit.
Yeah.
Like we didn't know even how to upload onto like Spotify.
Yeah.
We didn't know how to get on iTunes.
Yeah.
So we were just like, we just really enjoy making music.
Yeah.
Like he didn't drink till he was 21.
Yeah.
Wow. So like I didn't do shit either. So it was just like, let's just do this in our free time because we find this fun rather than like partying or like going out, which is completely fine. We do that shit now too.
Of course.
But it's always like, we were always like, would rather do the music shit rather than.
So that 4 years is really just you guys going through the cycle of going through college, but really when you're not in class, making music, sending each other songs.
Literally. In terms of a college student perspective, I did college so wrong. Like literally so wrong. I barely made any friends. I have like a few like good friends, but like that's not from like going to parties, whatever, yada yada. Like I was just from classes and stuff like that. Like I did college so wrong in terms of that. Like my sister was in the sorority, she did like the whole college thing correct, which is great. I mean, sometimes I'm just like, damn, I wish I like made a little bit more connections in college, yada yada. Like, but I did it so wrong.
Yeah.
But I did also so right in terms of music because now that's my job.
What was the conversation like of you guys saying, let's do this together?
Oh man, I remember at first I denied it. I was like
the very first
time we talked about it.
Gianni Kyle.
And I was like, I feel like it wasn't even Gianni and Kyle. Like we didn't have the name yet. We were just like, I feel like we should be a duo. Him and Michael presented it to me.
We were at Michael's house on the stairs. Yeah.
Yeah. And I was like, man, I really feel like I want to crank out as much as I can as a solo artist. I really want to see what I can do.
Because honestly, I wasn't really even making me like I made like one little project like for fun, but like I was more so just like in sessions Michael's bedroom. I was like with him like helping with like production or just I was just kind of like throwing out ideas like what about this melody instead of so I wasn't really even being like I make music like on my own type shit, but it was just like I would hop on a song every once in a while with him. And
so then I was like I was really denying the fact that we should be a duo at first because I really was just like I feel like I can make it as a solo artist right now.
You want to put the pressure on yourself.
I just wanted to do that just to see what I could do. It did not work, and I just like it just nothing was happening, and I felt like I was gravitating more towards becoming a group because it just made the most sense. Because I was like,
it was just more fun.
Yeah, I was like, it was more fun doing it together. I felt more dependent on him. Just like I was like, you're literally like my backbone right now. Like, why are we not doing this shit together? Like, I feel like I can't do this by myself. You know, like it just makes most sense that we do this together. So we randomly one day dropped a song under the name Gianni and Kyle. Just like didn't announce it or anything. We were just like, let's just drop it under Gianni and Kyle. Just see how people react. And then it did pretty decent. So we're just like, let's just keep doing this. It's Gianni and Kyle. And then just the ball started rolling. We finally met our team in Maryland, and then our entire team moved out here, and the rest is history.
Yeah. So to speed up to kind of getting out to LA, you guys graduate college. You do your first show in Maryland. I think it was sold out, or
it was opening for one of our homies. His name is Earl from Yonder.
Oh, that's fire. That's fire.
Yeah.
But what's interesting is you guys move out to LA, and as we were talking about before the podcast, is like you guys are sleeping on studio floors. You're sleeping on couches. I think at one point you guys even debated being an Uber driver. I think that was in the topic of conversation,
Dude,
which is fire because you're sitting across from the world's favorite Uber driver, top 2%. Hit me up.
Go.
Saw that outside.
I got the sticker that says top 2%. Hit me up. But obviously LA is full of opportunity. You guys know this before you even move out here. But what's telling you guys the times now? We got to just do this shit, even if we don't have the money for it, even if we don't know where we're gonna live. Why now?
I think it was perfect timing for us because one thing, we actually started seeing a little bit of money coming from like Gianni and Kyle music, which was just mind blowing to us. Because holy shit, we're making money off of this. This is like, I would have done honestly everything for free. But now the fact that we can like literally people are paying us to do this is like insane.
Yeah.
So like the fact that we have a little bit of money in Gianni and Kyle, and we had like money saved up just originally from like doing our 9-to-5s.
Yep.
And I was just graduating college, and the music kind of like started escalating a little bit.
Yeah, he got the degree for his mom.
You
know
so wait, did you end up drop? Is that what you?
I dropped out after a year.
Real quick, he said I'm out.
So I went to Rowan for a year. I went on like for swimming, and then I also went for art. And then basically I swam for like 16 years, and then I went to college to swim, and I was like, oh, I don't want to get told like.
It's a whole different ballgame, right? Yeah, college level, it's
I don't like this anymore. I don't like swimming anymore. And then I would go to class, and I would have this like 80-year-old guy be like, all right, draw 3 circles like on this paper, and you're gonna get graded. And I'm like, I was like drawing like realistic like black and white or black and gray like pencil like portraits of people, and I'm like, why am I drawing 3 circles? Like I'm not doing this.
Yeah.
Like some people just college isn't for them. Yeah. College was not for me.
You said, all right, I'm out.
So I just like I dropped out and moved back to Maryland, like just got a Craigslist room with fucking cockroaches in the bathroom, and got a job downtown Annapolis at a paint your own pottery studio.
Still staying in the arts then. You stayed within the passion.
Yeah. I mean, and then every weekend I would drive up to him at UMD, and like I taught myself how to make beats.
Wow.
When I was at Rowan.
Yeah.
So then when I came back, I'm like, yo, let's just like make beats and whatever. Like, I don't know.
How did that first 6 months in LA go, do you think, looking back on it now?
Homeless.
But
like the thing is, we needed that. You know what I mean? Because I'm
so glad that we were like, we weren't homeless. We weren't homeless because we had like people that we could depend on and be like, yo, I don't have a place to stay. Can I like sleep on your floor tonight? And like, so we always had like someone that would like do that. Like shout out Rob. Yeah. Shout out Austin. Yeah. Like they definitely were there for us. It's not like we would be like, oh fuck, we're homeless and we literally have nowhere to go. Time to like sleep on the outside, like on the on the ground.
It was never got that drastic, but like there were times where it was like, damn, like Rob went to sleep and his place is closed. We had to all pack in together and sleep on the studio floor, like 10 of us. And like literally, I'm not joking, it was smaller than this room.
It was, yeah.
Like and it was like 10 of us.
10 of you moved out here.
And we were like creating music too. So it was like it was like just a lot of stress of like, okay, we're homeless. I don't know where I'm gonna shower today. On top of the fact we're working on our new project. Wow. So it's like all that together. I feel like it put us in the mindset of like, I'm gonna work so hard that I never have to do this again.
Was the project Backstreet Boy Meets World?
No.
Yeah. Before that?
Was it not?
No. It was She's No Angel. That's the one that we just dropped back in November.
Oh wow.
Yeah. That's back. Like we were working on that music back in 2017. So we're like kind of 2 steps ahead when it comes to music.
Okay.
So like that's the music. She's No Angel is what we were working on when we were like couch hopping, not knowing where we're gonna shower, like kind of still really broke, like
sad as fuck.
Yeah, super like just like damn, like this sucks, like
going through breakups.
Yeah,
all that shit.
Yeah, it was just like a rough time, but I feel like we needed that in terms of our work process because we're like, damn, now we're like super grateful to even like have. I remember literally even when we got our apartment, we could afford an apartment at that point, right? Like fast forward like 6 months later, we got enough money to be like, okay, we can start like investing in like an apartment together. I remember I was sleeping on an air mattress at first. Like I didn't even have a bed, right? So I was like a $50 air mattress, and it was cold as hell. Yeah. I got so much back pain, yada yada. It doesn't matter. But I remember 4 months later, I finally got enough money to have a bed frame and a bed. Dude,
you felt great.
I almost cried.
Yeah.
So I from getting a bed.
Yeah.
Having a bed. You know what I mean? It's just like little things like that. It makes you so appreciative of like having your own money and investing into things you literally need. Yeah. You know how excited I got when I got like a fucking dresser the other day?
Yeah.
I literally just got a new dresser the other day and I got so excited.
Yeah, you were pumped.
And like a little like 30-inch TV in my room. I was like, fuck yeah, dude. Like, let's go. Like my girlfriend and I assembled this whole dresser together. I was so happy to like put clothes and things. I swear to God. Like
getting all gassed up thinking about it right
dude,
now.
like that's like what I get excited about now. Cause like there was a point in time where we didn't have any of that. We didn't even have a fridge. We couldn't buy groceries. You know, we were like going to like the 76 every day right next to the studio and like getting like a muffin and a water for the big ass water for the day
for the whole day.
Yeah, and that was our budget for the day. So now it's like a little
taco stand, dollar tacos.
Yep. Those are fire though.
Yeah, they were. I was not mad about that.
In LA, just those little taco joints.
I was not mad about that. But like, you know what I mean? It's like little things like that. It's like it makes us super appreciative for everything that we have now. So if we didn't have that time, we'd never like be in that mindset of like, all right, I'm just gonna dress, I'm gonna get a bed, whatever.
And the 10 people that moved out here, was that all for Gianni and Kyle, or were they like homies that wanted to move to LA as well? Was that
they're all part of our team.
All part of the team.
They work in like with a bunch of other people that like are gradually about to move out here too, like other artists and stuff. But yeah, like we, our managers.
We just all linked up with them back in Maryland.
Yeah,
because we had
all
a homie,
10 were from Maryland.
Yeah. So we had a homie we went to high school with who was a rapper, and he was actually he was a year younger than us, and he was like the kid where everyone was like, "Yo, this kid is gonna be like famous."
Yeah,
like,
everyone was looking at that kid.
Yeah, and then like then there's us like making pop music. No one gave a fuck about us, but this one kid is like lit as fuck. Like he was actually really dope.
Yeah. Shout out Curtis.
Yeah, Curtis.
Right on the
shout out Curtis.
He was amazing, but basically he like linked up with these guys like Kojo and down in Baltimore, and he's like, yo, like I am working at the studio as like an engineer. At the time Michael went and swam at Duke, so we like he wasn't really like recording us or making beats for us anymore, which is why I like learned how to make beats. So we're like, oh dope, we need someone to record like our music, so let's go there. And he like did it for free, and we were recording our song, and Kojo, who like it was his house, his studio, and he like heard it and like walked in, and he's like, who is this, like what song is this? And Curtis is like, oh, it's these guys, like Gianni, Kyle. And we met Kojo, and Kojo basically like from there he like heard like the potential, and he goes, yo, like come back next weekend, like I'll do a free session, but like let's just like cook up, let's work. And literally that's how we just met everyone.
And like, even being out here for you've been out here for almost close to 2 years now, I would imagine. Clearly things are going in the right direction. You still are just that tight knit of the day ones.
Our roommate is our other producer, Nikki Quinn.
Yeah,
he literally makes all of our music now. Kojo's like more of like the business side now. But yeah, it's like still
same guys.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's there's something about that relationship when somebody's there supporting you before anybody cares. Mm-hmm. There's a genuine belief, like they believe in you, you believe in them. They have been with you through the struggle, and then especially when you're moving out to a city like LA, as you already know, it's super competitive. Mm-hmm. It's just this place where everybody's out there trying to do something, which is great. But as long as you have like those core people around you, grounding you, or like there to support you, that's going to be the deal breaker. That's what's going to take you guys to the next level because you have them there supporting you. Yeah. What's like trying to like think about the rollout of all your music, right? Like, I mean, on Spotify right now, Fuckboy is at 20 million streams. So shout out to Fuckboy. Like these are big numbers. You guys have 3 million monthly. Like what's been your guys' strategy for rolling out the music? Has there been any like, what have you wanted Gianni and Kyle brand to represent?
I'll tell you right now. Let's drop the song. That's it.
Yeah.
Literally, honestly, can't even explain why Spotify is doing so well. Genuinely, it's all. I think it's literally just all people that genuinely want to listen to us, and like everyone we have like meetings with, and like going to these other like meetings, blah blah blah. They're like, how is this even possible? I've literally seen people look at our stats and like, how is this possible?
Wow.
I was like, we don't get playlisting.
Yeah,
like
we've
never been.
We don't get any help.
That's
like
what you want. That's good then. That shit's from the ground up, right?
I remember literally having someone look at my phone with all of our stats on it, and he's like, how is this possible? Like this is actually
people like labels don't know how people get plays unless they pay for a Spotify like playlist, like whatever.
Yeah.
So they see like shit actually happening like genuinely, and they're like, nah, it doesn't make sense. Yeah. I don't get it. Like my label brain doesn't understand.
They're just like cross-eyed, like what the hell is going on?
Yeah. Like people actually just fuck with you. Like I don't get it.
Yeah. So honestly, we can't even explain, but like, that's our whole life now. It's like Spotify that pays our bills.
Yeah.
You know? So it's
if somebody asks though, like Gianni and Kyle's a group, but what do they represent? Like, how would you answer that? Like, what does the music represent to you?
In terms of music, we take. I feel like we take a lot of like genuine like early 2000s melodic pop because that's what created us. Kyle says it best is when we were born in that time of, you know, NSYNC, Backstreet Boys, Britney Spears, but we also had Drake. Yeah. You know what I mean? So now we're in that pocket of growing up of like we have both of these things and we like kind of like are trying to mold it into something like new and modern. Cause like if you hear melodically, it's very like easy on the ear, like catchy, like it's very memorable, which is literally all that early 2000s was, which was like, you know, our entire lives. I grew up on like, you know, obviously the
Are you 93? Are you a 93 baby?
94.
94?
Are you 93?
93.
Wow.
Hit me up.
But yeah,
like, but no, I mean, it makes sense though.
Yeah, but like, you know, like all that like T-Pain, straight up, I met T-Pain like 2 days ago.
No way.
Dude.
You loved it, right?
First of all, I went to a show in LA. It was like one of the best shows I've ever seen. Yeah. Like seriously, he played
hits. He
played
hits.
all the hits. And I didn't like everyone was having such a good time. Just seeing it is like just crazy. And he's just also one of like the coolest dudes ever. Like I felt like everyone says that we would be great friends with T-Pain. I swear because we're like our personalities are so similar. I mean, like just meeting him and like really having a conversation with him was just like wow, like you are actually a cool person. It's like with all that success and all this, you know, back and forth of just, you know, don't meet your heroes and stuff like that. But he was like a genuinely good dude. That was fucking lit.
Yeah.
But yeah, musically, it's like, you know, bringing in that pocket of like early 2000s pop and melodic stuff like that with like, you know, the newer Drakey kind of pocket. And we just like, I feel like our music in general is just like, it's just fun. Let's have a good time. Yeah. It doesn't have to be too deep. Sometimes we'll talk about real stuff. Sometimes we'll talk about like, you know, real relationship things we're going through. But at the end of the day, it's like easy on the ear. Anyone can genuinely enjoy it. So that's
how do you guys get into like a clear headspace? Like you're ready to create. Obviously, the world we live in now, there's so much shit going on at our fingertips on social media. So much music that's being put out. Like there's so many things to side distract you from still. It's actually kind of funny when you think about like. As we started the podcast, you talk about how when you're making the music, it's just for fun. Yeah. There's no real business. Now it's business and it's stressful and there's all this other shit going on. But now, on that same type of line, it's like now you have all these eyes paying attention to you. You have expectations. You're doing tours. So now there's kind of like this pressure of like the next thing has to be great or better. How do you go in to creating with just a clear headspace and trying to go back to that same mental space of like, we're just here to have fun?
I think we feel pressure from everything besides music. Like I feel like the music comes really easily to us. Like we can like write a full like honestly all of our songs have only taken like an hour, 2 hours to like not even just write but like produce the whole thing because we have our roommate like Nick. Like we just go to the studio and be like, all right, let's make something. He'll pull out the guitar, play something, and we'll be like, oh dude, I think this hook melody works, right? Blah, blah, blah. And we're like, oh yeah, dope. Here, I'm gonna write this verse real quick. You know, what's like the music has always been really like easy for us. It's more so just like all right, we gotta go out to places, or we have to like shoot this music video, or make like what? Yeah, like how do we want to like present ourselves? Like what do we want our image to look like? Yeah. That's the stuff that like stresses us out more. Yeah. Like always like constantly thinking, because then like I said earlier, like music is almost the smallest part of it. It's like then you have to worry about Instagram, like how you carry yourself on Instagram and everything.
Which is a terrible thing to even say. You know what I mean? It's like I have to worry about Instagram. That's crazy.
More than making music.
That's crazy.
We make music for like a living.
Part of me says, fuck it, stop worrying about it. But then part of me says, it's literally just a platform of opportunity for you to grow and get your name out there and have a voice. Because sometimes I'm like tempted to push myself to just delete the app for a couple days. But I'm like, what if I get a DM of a lifetime about doing a podcast, or
literally the one
like,
that we sent you?
Yeah, no. But seriously, it's just like I don't want to miss the opportunity, but. It's that I think the true key, and I talked to somebody yesterday about this on a podcast. It's the balance of like how much are you consuming, and that balance of like producing versus consuming, right? Like I think as you guys are, just produce a lot of shit and then step away and not get all caught up in like paying attention to all this other shit that's going on. But yeah, unfortunately, you have to find that balance, because it is an opportunity. Like what you just said about we have to network or we have to build. Yeah, dude. I feel so grateful that I've built most of this podcast through Instagram DM, through emailing, or through mutual friends connecting me. Like I definitely have made connections going to events or like the networking things, but I actually don't want to do that shit anymore, because I think there's so much pressure that everybody's there to do that, that it's so hard to have a genuine conversation like, oh yeah, hey, what's up, man? Yeah, I do this podcast, like if you're ever interested, like you should definitely come on it. I'd rather like send an email or send a DM that somebody can read in their own personal time when the time's right, versus trying to get somebody to give me their attention when there's all this other shit going on. Like I used to think you had to go to the clubs to get deals done, or like to link up with somebody. That's the place where people don't want to do any business. It's their one time that they get to just like hit pause on everything else in their life and have fun. You don't want to be that guy that was like the one that came up and was like, hey, check out my podcast. Yeah. But I guess sometimes you do hear stories of like that actually working and that happening.
It's such a gray area. You really don't know what works. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like I think we definitely, at the beginning, we definitely like went through this phase of like, all right, let's like try to make ourselves look like this on Instagram. And it's like, oh, it's not working that well. Let's try to like do this. And I think now we're like really realizing like, Instagram is literally like, let's just literally just be us. Let's just literally be like the most genuine versions of ourselves. And people are gonna fuck with it. People are gonna fuck with it. If not, like I don't need so and so to fuck with me for any reason. Yeah. Because I know that like if they don't fuck with me like all the way, then I don't want them to like I don't care.
You just want to be authentically yourself. Yeah, exactly. If people like it, dope. If not,
that's what we've always tried to like say through. Like especially like the brand part of Gianni Kyle. It's like we're used to having normal 9 to 5. Like we came out here to like make music, but like I don't see myself as like lit at all or anything. I don't want to go to clubs with bottle service or anything. I'm like a normal ass guy. And we just happen to make like dope ass music. Yeah. But like we go on Instagram, we answer everybody on like, every single DM, like every single DM we like answer. We like try to like comment back to like hella people like because at the end of the day it's like we are just normal. Like I don't want people to think we're too cool for school, like because I'm not about to be like just posting pictures from like a $2,000 camera. I don't even, is that a lot? I don't even know. Like a $10,000 camera and like some crazy like Balenciaga jumpsuit or some shit. Because that's like not me.
You're smart. You're building a community. People appreciate that interaction on Instagram. That one DM back could completely. That person now is like sold on you. They're telling all their friends the next time you come to their city. They're going with them. So it's like you don't know how these little interactions are gonna build. You put in that work every single day, like you have with the music. You do that with the fans or people that are DMing you or emailing you. It's the same type of shit. It's just gonna keep growing. It's gonna keep evolving, and then it grows into something where you're doing massive.
Hoodie Allen, he definitely like helped show us that too, because from the jump we were always like because we just had our personal Instagram. So if anybody ever like messaged us at first, like we would just message off our personal, like whatever. Then we made the group, and we were always just still like, I mean, why not? We have time, so like why not just answer everyone? Yeah. And Hoodie has like the whole like phone number thing where people subscribe, and like he like talks to them, like actually like has communications and like knows like, oh yeah, what's her name has that graduation thing, you know what I mean? But like he knows that for like everyone. So it's like we're on tour and it's like 3 a.m. and he's like just messaging people, hey, do you still live in Dallas, Texas? I'm gonna be there next week, like do you want these tickets? Like, well, here's the link to the ticket. So it's like we really saw that, and like he hasn't put out a project in like a year. He's about to, but it's like he's able to tour, like go on a sold out tour, 37 dates, like off the strength of like him. Yeah. Just because he's like has that relationship with those people. So we're like, why would we not do that?
Yeah,
like, I want to do that.
I remember even in the blog days, like 2012, 2013, when that's really big, and seeing him on the come up, he was always that guy like on Twitter, constantly responding to people. Yeah. I don't even know if at the time I was following him, but I would still see his name pull into my timeline because people are interacting with him.
And that's the most important thing. Yeah. If like people can just like see your name, even if you don't follow him, then like a month later you're gonna see it again and be like, wait, why did I see this name? Who is this person?
Exactly. Yeah. They get very familiar. And so actually, that's great because that was the next thing I want to talk about was Hoodie Allen and the tour. Yeah. You guys announced that you were going on tour with them back July 31st, so not too long ago. And the tour was the Hanging with Hoodie tour. Yeah. Not only was this your first nationwide tour, but it was opening for someone that you guys had listened to growing up. Yeah. So when this is coming together and you guys are about to like go on tour with him and it's announced, what is going through your mind? Because
holy fuck.
I'll take it back to when he first even like this was even an idea. I was on vacation back in Maryland with my family. Mm-hmm. That was one of my best friends, and I just opened my Instagram DMs from Gianni and Kyle. It was a request. And I was like, that can't be right. I looked at it again. Holy shit, Hoodie Allen's in our fucking DMs right now. I look at my buddy and he's like, you're lying. I'm like, no, this is really happening right now. He's like, y'all are dope. I was like, holy shit, it's Hoodie Allen. And I was like, dude, you're Hoodie Allen. This is crazy. He's like, yep. Which is like, yep. He's like, you guys got any tour plans in the fall? I'm like, you know what? I don't. What's
Schedule's
up?
Actually clear.
Yeah, super clear. What's up? And he's like, you know what? Let's do it. I'm like, fuck yeah. And I was like, with him, there's always like some business shit that goes, around it, but yeah, it was super genuine. Just like he reached out to us. Apparently, he knew about us for a minute, which was like super dope because I didn't even know he knew that we existed. Yeah. So yeah, now he's like a really close homie of ours. We were like literally just on the phone with him like a day ago, just like for an hour in the car, just like talking about his future tour plans and yada yada, this and that. But yeah, everything that leading up to it, we were like, holy shit, we're about to go on a tour. We've only done like 2 shows. That's back in Maryland, like
200 people, like just all like 200 like homies for real.
You go
like,
from 2 shows to a nationwide tour.
Yeah.
But then like people were like, I remember the first show of the tour, Seattle, which was insane. Like just like seeing that, and like it was such a great show, and like to start the tour in general, and it was like the biggest show we've ever done. Yeah. At that point, we're like, holy shit, like this is like what we're meant to be doing 100%. Like this is like it. And like people were, even people on the team that were on the tour with them were like, that was like your first real show. And we're like, yeah. It's like, it looks like y'all been doing this for years. Wow. It's like, it was so just genuine. Like we're like, it's so natural with us. Yeah. It's like, all right, this is exactly what we're supposed to be doing.
Well, it goes back to like being like prepared and everything. It's like the day he asked us to like go on tour, we're like, all right, let's put together a set list and let's like practice every single day for like 3 months, 2.5 months. It was like, even if we weren't in like a rehearsal studio, we were in our living room with our speakers, holding water bottles, being like, all right, let's get the timing. Because like,
that's so true.
We didn't like, we didn't bring like a DJ or anything. Like we didn't know any, like,
shout out Cam Nist.
Shout out Cam Nist, previous guest on the podcast.
Cam
so he was just our homie, and like we were like, well, let's just bring him as a photographer, and if anything, I can just make a set list, like already put the timings in between each song.
There's 2 of you, so at least somebody like, hey, you
so
keep
I
them
was like, yo, I'm just gonna have it on my laptop, and Cam, just before we go on, literally go up on stage and press play, and then and then the set's there. So it's like, thank God we had 3 months, because it was like a song ends and we might have like 25 seconds, and like we have to like
kill some.
We timed everything to the word. because we interact with the crowd a lot, and it was literally like a 30-minute press play, and we had to time everything perfectly with the crowd. And that's like our thing. Like we even did that in Europe because we didn't have camera or anything, but yeah, we timed literally, and we have like little skits and stuff too that we like stuff we genuinely speak with the crowd. Like
that could really get fucked. Like it's like 30. Really it's like 30 seconds of us like doing a skit. And to end the skit, we're like, all right, but this song is called blah blah blah. Let's go. And that's where like the song is supposed to start. And like we practiced so much that we would go through the whole 30 or the whole 30 seconds and be like, all right, this next song is about to start now. Boom, and like, it would go. Like
there had to be some awkward moments where it's like, it's coming. It's coming.
It got so like dynamic and like complicated. Like one of the skits before we did "Do You Miss Me at All," before we announced that on this like past tour, for the like the thing that we did with the crowd is that we talked about my ex-girlfriends. And then Cam would bring out these big ass posters,
huge posters
of me with my ex-girlfriends scribbled out.
The girlfriend's
and
face
then we would just like literally name drop my ex-girlfriends.
Like I would literally be like, oh man, like is anybody in here single as fuck? And everybody would be like, yeah.
It's like, who's lonely as shit, guys? And I was like, yeah.
I'm like, Gianni used to be happy. Like, wait, what? And Cam would just come out from backstage just holding these giant posters and be like, what the fuck? It was so
and they just name drop all my exes while he like drops the posters, and I'm like, oh my god. It's like this next song goes out to all my ex-girlfriends at the exact same time, and then boom, "Do You Miss Me at All" comes in, which is great. It went over really well with the fans and stuff.
Wow.
None of my exes hit me up.
Oh, that's too bad.
Yeah,
but
they don't think they
that's
knew.
Man, that's awesome though. Like fucking, you see Hoodie growing up, and then now you're out nationwide tour. Then you go to Europe with him.
I'm not even gonna lie to you. All right, so like back when we were like not even Gianni and Kyle yet. I told Hoodie this while we were on the tour, but making things really full circle and like being super grateful where you are now. Here's a story. No one knows this on the internet.
Can't wait.
So, back in Maryland, there's this venue, Fillmore Silver Spring. That's like the venue I would love.
Huge.
That's like a dream to play at because that's like the venue I grew up going to. So doing a show there would be insane for me. But I used to do this thing where I would like pick artists that would come into town that like kind of resembled our music style and go to these shows and literally slang out like tapes of my music. One of those shows was Hoodie Allen.
Wow.
Yeah. Back in like 2012.
Wow.
Yeah. So before we Gianni Kyle, none of that. So we were just like, throwing out mixtapes, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And yeah, like, now we tour with them, and like right in the middle, smack middle of the Hanging with Hoodie tour, I was like, hey, we're like getting like tacos, I'm pretty sure. I'm like, hey, by the way, this happened. I was like, holy shit, that's amazing.
Dude, that's crazy.
Yeah. So that's like, even like going back to like, being a genuine person involving like fans and stuff, responding to all the fans and stuff, is because I used to like be a fan. Like I was like, we were on the fan side. Like everyone starts as a fan at some point before they become the artist. You know what I mean? So it's like, what would I want my favorite artist to do? Yeah, I would want to respond to me. I would want him to interact with me. I want him to feel like it would be very easy to stay in contact with him and feel like a genuine person, not like this like disconnect of like too cool for school type guy that I can't relate to at all. Yeah, you know what I mean? So like, I want to be that person or we want to be those people for our fans. It's like, I don't want to feel like we have this disconnect. Like you could hit us up whenever, and it'll be like just a genuine relationship that we have with our fans.
That's the world it used to be. It used to be that disconnect because there was no bridge to talk to an artist. It was like behind the scenes. You see them on stage, then they're gone, and you don't see of them until the next show or like a music video. But now it's like the cool thing is to be interacting with people using Instagram as the platform, as opportunity, or any other social media. It's like trying to find. Who's done a really good job? Once again, like Logic. He did like that tour around the U.S. And just played music for the fans. It's like little things like that.
I think John Bellion did that too.
Yep. Yep.
Because we're good friends with the guy that runs Gravity, which is a guy that did all of Logic's like old videos and stuff.
Gravity! Oh my god, I can literally see his logo right now.
Yeah, he's a good homie of ours, and he like really like believes in us, and he like kind of sat us down one day. It's like, hey, this like Logic and John Bellion, I saw it like hands on. They respond to every single person, like hours of just them responding.
Not just like a second heart emoji or something.
Like a genuine like here's like a really detailed like response to you, because we were doing that at first because like once we were on tour, it was like started getting really overwhelming with like responses. So we were just like, all right, like love, hey, this, that. It wasn't just like a genuine like
yeah.
Like, yo, I really appreciate you coming to that's super dope. Like,
so like we kind of had to get like that.
You have to balance. You can't literally write out a paragraph.
So now it's like we really go back into like, he sat us down and was like, hey, I see this, I saw it and it worked with them, and I see this in you guys. If you guys just really attacked it more, like it would really make a
It's
difference.
gonna grow.
These are the fans you want to keep now.
Yeah.
The guys that genuinely fuck with you at this point, where you're not like super duper popping at this point. Like these are the guys that are gonna stick with you no matter what. So like capitalize on it. So like after we got that like kind of like smack in the face of like, oh, we really need to like step up our shit right now. Now it's like every single person that hits us up is genuine.
So now that you guys are back from all that touring from Europe, what does the rest of 2019 look for you guys? I know I'd seen a post you guys like tease a little bit of like a nationwide tour maybe. I'm sure you guys are always brewing music. That's constantly. But like for somebody that's listening that's a big fan of Gianni and Kyle, what can they expect to see throughout the rest of 2019?
Music video for Do You Even Miss Me at All?
We're shooting that literally in 2 days.
Nice.
Yeah,
You
that's
excited?
happening. Super excited. I think it's going to be our best video so far, 100%.
I had to throw that out there though because it just hit 20 million plays.
Yeah.
Like today, woke up.
Damn, today
20
too.
million plays.
It's a
on Do You Even Miss
celebration,
Me at All.
boys.
Crazy, man.
Yeah.
It's super crazy. So that make a music video for that. A shit ton more music. We got already like a project ready on top of like another bigger project, kind of getting there.
Yeah.
So like
We're working on.
we're
that
working
one
on
right
it.
now.
Hopefully a headline tour in the fall.
We're shooting for fall.
Shooting for fall.
Headline tour.
That's a big tour season right in the fall. Give you guys a summer to keep getting things together.
Yeah. So,
Exactly. Yeah, like we could have rushed for a summer one, but
Yeah.
I think we wanted to get out new music
Yeah.
first, and then like be able to tour that new music because
terrifying.
the new music is definitely terrifying because it's like, wait,
like-
are we able to go on
Are
tour?
we-
Like,
are we
will
popping
people show
enough?
up? Like what
I'm
the
terrified
fuck?
that people will even come. Like straight up, I'm like, are people gonna show up in like the middle of Chicago? Like I'm never
That
been.
random like
I've
Omaha,
been one
Nebraska
time.
show. Like
Yeah.
shit, is anybody even
Does
gonna pull
anyone
up?
know who we are there?
Dude, even the DMs I was getting from like questions asked, people were like, "Are they gonna come to Texas? Are they gonna come to here?" I'm like, "Holy shit!" Like,
I hope so.
I don't know. I didn't even respond. I was like, "I don't know if I can." Shit, maybe they are.
Yeah.
Why don't you hit them up? Tell them where you are.
Oh, they
Maybe
do.
they'll
Trust
go.
me, they hit us up.
Yeah, they tell you where
all
where
the
you are.
time. Yeah.
Come to Brazil.
Yeah,
There's always like two people that want us to come to Brazil so
like-
bad.
Yeah, I guess.
Brazil. You'll be in Brazil at some point.
Maybe.
Going off of that actually as well, and I know we touched on it with talking about like for the Hoodie tour, you guys would do like the sketch comedy in between the sets. I know that I think is also something of interest that you guys might possibly want to do. Do you guys like? Obviously, right now the main focus is music, but do you guys kind of see yourself moving forward in the future of more of entertainers and not being put into a box as an artist?
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see myself like my ideal career is like exactly what like Justin Timberlake's doing.
Amazing.
It's like you have the music,
He's
you have
the
like
fucking goat,
like the
bro.
acting, you have like the comedic side, like he's always on SNL, but he can also be like a serious actor and stuff like that. You know, like things like that. It's like but also like, you know, hands on with like the creative sides of like, you know, writing for other people and like not even for like music, but for like, you know, skits and like this and that. Like we're very creative people when it comes to the whole entertainment industry, and I feel like music's kind of like our, you know, first step of like trying to get to that whole point. Obviously that music's like our baby, but like, you know, hopefully like music will help us open these doors for a bunch of more outlets in the entertainment industry, which we would love to do.
Yeah. That's both you. You pretty much say the same thing.
I don't want to be small-minded. You know what I mean? Like the way that my parents always like raised me was like, yo, you could do anything.
Yeah.
Like if you like work hard enough at anything, you could do anything. So I want to get like amazing at music and like perfectly craft that work and get like as good as I can, and then like eventually start like working.
Are you still drawing a lot?
Kind of, I guess.
He does all of our like
artwork.
I just gotta
do
say,
all of
I
I do
that
all
was-
of like
that
the
was my next
artwork
thing.
and stuff. Like the most I've really like drawn lately is like I like animated one of our music videos.
It's fire.
And that made me almost never want to draw again because that took me like so long because I don't know any like I dropped out of like freshman year of college and all I learned was Photoshop. So like I don't know how to like have that pad where you draw like each frame and stuff. So I did like the really fucked up way of doing it and like actually drew out every frame and would like take a picture and send it to myself and put it in Photoshop and like I did like the crazy version. Yeah, it literally took me like 5 months to do that.
It's a great
where I was just doing it in like my free time, and I had a lot of free time because that's when we were homeless at one point. So I was just like I would wake up and be like, oh shit, like,
I gotta start drawing.
Yeah, I would literally just start drawing.
Pen is still in his hand from the night before.
But I really like, because I don't know if you could already tell, but he's definitely more like like talkative, and like I like being behind the camera a lot more. So I think like in the future I'd love to like be writing shit or like directing shit. I'd love that. I'd love to do like I love Atlanta. You ever watched the show?
I watched a couple of the episodes.
I love Atlanta. Like I would love to be on some like Donald Glover shit. Just like be writing and he stars and shit and he directs, produces. Like I love that. That's awesome.
I think that's what's extremely important. What you just said though is that you might be the one that's talkative, wants to be a friend. You're kind of more laid back. That would be a big issue if you were the same type of person. Yeah. Because you both would be like, no, let me get the mic. Let me get them. You know what I mean? Like it from this conversation that we've had thus far, it literally is the perfect balance. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like you guys like the weight is perfect, you know, because I definitely think I can't think of anything specific in the past, but there's for sure groups or duos that it might not even be music, could be anything, and they both want the spotlight or they both want to be that person, and then it just fucking tears everything up. So having that like balance is probably got to be so key to you guys kind of getting to this point today. Yeah. Outside of music though, and I know you said Donald Glover, I know you said Justin Timberlake, what or who else inspires you? It doesn't have to be music, doesn't have to be like what kind of inspires you to create, be good, what, I don't know, anything.
Man. T-Pain. Straight up. Honestly.
Yeah.
Like literally, because like
it was supposed to be outside of music, but we'll let it slide.
Oh, outside of music.
Yeah.
But damn.
I'll let it slide.
Oh, but no,
that's so hard because I feel like our lives are like so just like musically driven.
Yeah.
I'm trying to like think of someone that's like not even like I love like I'll say a really random one.
Yeah.
That might not even make sense. I'm like super inspired by Kevin Feige, the guy that like put together the whole Marvel Cinematic Universe that's happening. Like, just because like 11 years now? 11 years ago, he's like, oh, I'm gonna make an Iron Man movie, and then like I'm gonna make this whole world. It's like I don't know.
You really gotta think through that
just
shit.
The way that like he's done that, and like every single
it.
movie has been like I love movies.
Yeah,
I fucking love movies. I go to like the movie theater like twice a week.
Love it.
Yeah. Love movies.
Big movie guy.
Love all that type of shit. So like seeing that, like seeing literally like one movie and then turn into like a 30 movie franchise where every single character from those movies is like in one movie.
That's crazy.
Like it's super dope seeing that. I love like seeing stuff like start from like nothing and then like becoming something crazy.
Yeah.
So I guess that might be like a weird one.
I think
I guess Kevin Feige, I like that. I like him.
I think mine's Jordan Peele.
Because
there's like that whole perspective like I can be hilarious and like the goofiest character in the world, but then I can literally be the exact opposite and make the most mind fucking shit of all time and get the respect I deserve for it.
Yeah.
You know, almost immediately.
Immediately.
Yeah.
And that's like kind of like what we strive for is like, hey, we can be funny, but also we can be dead serious too in like terms of like our music or like even something that we might branch out to do later in the entertainment industry. It's like it's not always have to be like comedic.
Yeah.
You know, it's always have to be like cleverly like, you know, funny or this and that. Like even though that's like our strong suit, let's say, we also have other, you know, strong suits of our lives as well that we can, you know, really like reach out to, you know, harness and stuff. So I feel like, you know, Jordan Peele had like that immediate respect just from Get Out, and then obviously Us. Have you seen Us yet?
Yeah,
dude.
Did you like it?
Oh, have I seen Us? Sorry, no, I haven't seen Us. I heard it's great though.
Dude, yeah,
I gotta see it.
Go see it.
Should I watch it?
Should we go see it together?
Yeah, let's go.
I have to.
Yeah.
I'll see it again.
We'll see you guys next time.
Yeah. All right, let's get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's also too important to get inspired from things outside of what you are doing because it kind of can shed light and make you look at things differently. Yeah. Like even things that you're seeing in the Marvel series, you could probably find a way to incorporate into kind of your own music or just the way, I don't know. I think also too, just the idea of this guy had a vision for something so big and now finally executed. It's like, that's the shit that inspires me. It's like, that's why I try to make this project so well-rounded of artists, DJs, producers, entrepreneurs, vloggers, makeup artists, film directors, photographers. It's like, you don't have to want to be the next filmmaker or the next group of guys to make music, but the lessons and the gems that you're going to hear, you can incorporate into whatever the hell it is that you're trying to do.
Yeah.
If you had to work, is there like one habit or weakness you would like to work on for yourself?
So many.
What's the first one that comes to mind?
Oh, in terms of what? My lifestyle or anything? Like music?
Let's do lifestyle.
I want to like be able to put myself out there more. I'm like very like quiet and stuff, so I get like really scared with just the thought of like going to like meet people or like just putting myself out there in any way. So I guess that's like I've been trying to like work on that the past like year. And I almost feel like I'm forced to do that out here because it's almost like part of your livelihood is just like being able to go out and like just even just talk with people. Like it doesn't even have to be for business, just like talking with people. I don't know why, but I'm like terrified of it. So I've been like, that's like one weakness. That was a question, right? Did I just answer that right?
No, you did.
All right, cool. Yeah.
I think with me, I'm still like, even though like taking it back to the fact that this is a business, I would love to be more well-rounded when it comes to understanding everything involving the business.
Like more aware.
Like super more aware. Because like we have a good idea. Obviously, it's working for us now. You know, it's like we're staying afloat. But like I really want to know to the detail. Like so like what if I like have like a business meeting and someone's like obviously trying to fuck me, but like I'm too oblivious to see that. You know what I mean? Like I want to be so educated to the point where like I can outsmart this guy that's trying to screw me over, even though he just thinks I'm like the artist that wants to sign a deal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like even becoming even more educated with
every step of that process.
Every single step of the process, just understanding every aspect of the business side of music. You know what I mean? So
I think you're already setting yourself up though just by having a team of people that have been 100%. With you since day one. Yeah. Because that's going to help you learn, and you're not going to have to worry as much as somebody who comes out here and has nobody around them and now just surrounds themselves with a manager that is from this place, that place, producer that works here. I think that's great. Like that's to me makes the only sense. Like I don't want to be signing my name on something that I don't really know what that like how that's helping me. But I also have realized the importance of having a team. I think sometimes in the world we live in now, it seems like, oh, I could just do this all myself and make more money and I get to keep it to myself. But I think it's actually better, as you're already seeing, having a team to give out less money, but have people that are there to support you mentally, make better decisions, or to get shit done so you could just creatively focus on what you're here to do, you know?
Yeah, but like, you know, the thing is I could easily tell management just to take care of it. Yeah. Shout out management. But gang. But the thing is, like, I want to know exactly what's going on. Yeah. You know, it's like I could easily say, like, I want to focus on music, take care of it. But, like, nah. Like, I want to know, like, this is the issue. This is what happens here. And this is, like, what we're going to do to solve it. So I can become more aware of, like, okay, so, like, what if I didn't have management? Like, this was, like, approached to me, like, immediately. Like, I would know what the best call is, and we could, like, everyone could discuss it together. Yeah. You know? More of just, like, nah, you take care of it. I want to be more invested on everything that involves.
I respect that.
Yeah, you know.
How do you? Here's a good question. What do you think has changed the most about you since working with Kyle and vice versa?
I'm definitely like going back to like what I'm trying to work on. Have so much more confidence. Like in high school, I had like actually like at my high school, I had 0 friends. Like. Not like I had people that I like would talk to or like would talk to me like during lunch or during class, but like all my friends were like swimming friends. So at high school I had no one. I hated high school, but just like being around him the past like 6 years opened me up because he's a social butterfly. So he's so easy to like he's so easy to like start a conversation. Like when he was talking to T-Pain, he's like, "I love that shirt," and T-Pain's like, "I love your shirt." I was just like,
my sweater.
I literally texted him. I was like, "How are you so good at just bullshitting?" So that's definitely like opened me up because I always have just been like the wallflower, scared to talk. Yeah, and he's definitely like given me confidence to be able to be like, "No, I'm fucking like Kyle. Like I'm Kyle. I can like people." Like should want to talk to me and I should like talk to people too. Yeah. He definitely showed me confidence. Yeah.
Yeah. I think for me it was like, remember I was trying to make it as a solo artist. Yeah. It's like I realized I can't do this by myself. Yeah. Like, you know, you need good people around you, people that like are to tell you that's probably not the best idea. And like that's like what we do with each other. It's like
we definitely hold each other down. Yeah. Because we both of us being super creative, we both want to be like, yo, I just got this idea and let's fucking like run with it. Yeah. And like either one of us, like if he has the idea, I might be like, that's dope idea, but like it might be a little too much. Let's like figure out how to do it better. And it's like same thing with me. I might want to do something just, yo, let's upload this demo on our SoundCloud. And he's like, let's not. Like, like there's a reason why we never release or like just anything like that. Yeah. Definitely like help each other out with like
it's so weird talking to you guys right now because I see so much of what I have with Dylan, even though I'm not making music. Dylan's making music, I'm doing this, but I see myself and I see Dylan within Kyle, and it's like man, I know exactly where you guys are coming from high school. Like I grew up 2 blocks over from him, from the same hometown. Like went to high school together. When he started making music, I was his hype man.
Yeah,
that's amazing.
Like
I feel like I saw that on your story.
Oh yeah,
right?
I throw it up a couple times just to remind people like of the new followers. Like, oh, I used to rock the stage,
but like being there in the process of like people shitting on him, being there in the process of like that first like booking of a show, then the first tour. Man, it's just fucking I can feel and I know exactly the relationship you guys have, and it's incredible, man. It's awesome that people are able to like you guys were able to find each other at the best moment in time when you guys are just jump starting this music. You're reading through that Facebook message and I'm getting the chills because it's like 7 years ago. You guys are just 2 kids trying to make music, and now you're here off a nationwide tour, living full time in LA, like actually living the dream. That's literally what this podcast is all about. So it's like this story couldn't be more aligned with what this is all about. Yeah. What do you think Gianni and Kyle's purposes? What do you guys think your separate purpose might be, or as a collaborative group?
I feel like we kind of represent the idea that anyone can really do this because we, coming from the fan perspective, coming from we weren't shit. We were just guys trying to do this. Yeah. It's like we were just working every single day and just like trying to like, we weren't concerned about, oh, is this going to work? Yes or no. So we were just having fun with it. Yeah. And then it started really becoming a real thing. We were always in the mindset that this was going to work. You know what I mean? It's like, so if anyone has that mindset, like, I think this is what I should be doing, 100% run with it.
At least try. Yeah. I mean, at least try. You're like with us, my old swim coach, like I told him that I remember I had lunch with him, and it was right after I dropped out of college. Like he was the one that really helped me find that college for swimming and everything.
This is the high school coach.
Yeah, this is my high school coach. And I like felt really like disappointed in myself. I was like, man, like what is going on? Like I was supposed to be like this swimmer and everything. And I told him, like, getting lunch, I was like, man, I just really, like, honestly, what I wanted, because I was going to community college when I moved back. And he goes, oh, well, how's community college? I'm like, honestly, I don't want to do it. I want to, like, make music. Like, that's, like, my passion. I just want to do that. And he was like, do it. He's like, you're 20 years old. Or I think I was 19. He's like, you're 19 years old. Like, now is the time to, like, move out there. And if you fail, you fail. And, like, you move back here and figure something out. But, like, you don't want to be 40 years old and being like, let me try to make music. Because you can't afford to be 40 or like however old and like fail at like something that like might not be a normal job. Yeah. You can totally do that when you're 19 years old. Yeah. At least if you try, you'll at least be able to say like, hey, I tried.
That's my whole thing. It's like I can live knowing that I put it all on the line, and I'll sleep better at night knowing that I went for something. But to me, the last thing I fucking want, I don't know what, that was just something I feel like I was blessed from lessons taught by my parents, definitely the people I surrounded myself with too, just being inspired by that. But it's like, what do I have to lose? What's the worst possible thing that's going to happen? I can live knowing that I put it all on the line. That's my whole thing. It's like, if I try something and it doesn't work and it doesn't go the way that I thought it was going to, fucking fine, dude. Yeah. Like,
at least you try. Literally, at least you tried.
The last thing I want is to be sitting around, like you're saying, at 40, twiddling my thumbs going, man, I wonder what it could have been if I would have tried that, if I would have pushed the envelope.
That's a scary thought.
It is
scary. It's a really scary thought.
It is, but I think you got to take that scariness and just use that as the fuel of like, I'm going to keep going. I know what I want, and at least I'll be able to see it through. You know, like wherever the vision takes me, it's going to take me down this uncharted path of who knows what, but to me, it's like a no-brainer. I've been the same way when I started this, just like, I'm going to do this even if nobody understands the vision. And even through, there's still these day-to-day grinds of, and as I'm sure you see within music, even after being where you are today, it's like you still have this big question mark of like, am I supposed to be doing this? And then you just battle it down. You're like, there's no other option. Like, this is what I want to do. But I think it's just pushing through that self-doubt and continuously doing something. That's where you build the confidence. And then that's when you finally you got to see the fruits of the labor. Things finally start to happen. You start to tour. You start to get all the guests that you've always dreamed of. So, these are just like same lessons that I hope people learn from this podcast. Before I get into the final questions, this is my reverse role. I allow the guests to ask me. Well, guests today. I allow the guests to ask me any one question. But since there's two of you, we can do two questions. One from each of you.
Yeah, you go first.
Look, right? you knew
because you know my question.
Before we even fired up the mics, he's like, I already know my question. I'm like, shit, here we go.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna be really sad if you can't answer it.
Go ahead. Well, hold on. Let me start off by this.
Okay.
1, 2 rules with the questions.
Okay.
1, can't be a question I already asked you today.
Yeah, no.
2, can't be directly about the podcast.
That's fine.
Oh, wow.
Do you have any ghost stories?
Ghost.
Yes. Or just like just weird, like anything like unexplainable, or even if your family told you any family stories, any friends, ghost stories.
Parents never told me any crazy stories. Man.
God damn
Don't ruin this.
Don't ruin
this. Any ghost stories?
Yes.
You don't. Man.
I don't think so.
I feel like I got to tell you
Please.
one that happened to my mom.
Please.
This is the craziest story
I can't wait
about ghost stories. Because do you believe in ghosts?
I'm like, I don't know. I'm not going to say it's not real.
Yeah.
That's my whole thing.
That's how
I'm not going to say it's not real. I haven't really had like a true experience.
Yeah.
But I'm not opposed to it. So let's hear it.
So I'm always back and forth. But so it was New Jersey, Cape May, New Jersey. My mom was living like in this upstairs like house apartment type thing. And she was in the bedroom and my stepdad was in the kitchen and she was doing her makeup, whatever. And it's just like a hallway basically attaching the kitchen to the bedroom. And she's like, "Oh, can you get me like an apple?" Like yelled to my stepdad. And like 30 seconds later, she's doing her makeup like in the mirror and then she looks down, and as she looks down, like an apple is like finishing rolling into the doorway. It's like, and like it stops like right there. She goes, "That's weird. Like why would he like roll it? Why would he roll this apple to me?" So she like grabs it, walks out into the kitchen. She's like, "Hey, thanks for the apple." And my stepdad's like, "What? Like what do you mean?" And he's like, and she's like, "Why did you like roll me the apple?" And he's like, "I don't know what you're talking about. Like I didn't hear you. Did you want an apple? Like I didn't hear you. Like wait, why do you want an apple if you have one?" And she's like, you rolled it to me, right?" And he's like, "No, I didn't."
Fuck.
Yeah, dude. So then there's like a couple other little things like the AC in her room, like I think the lowest it goes is like 60 or something, and like literally the numbers and like the feeling of it was like at 45, not 6. It went down to 45. You can't go that low, and it was just like shooting like cold air.
Do they still live in the same house?
No.
They got out of there.
Then like I remember every time I would stay there in the bedroom, I would go to sleep closing the closet doors because it freaked me out because I knew these stories. Then I would wake up and they would always be open. Like they would always be open.
I would have been out of that. All it takes one time and I'm gone.
This is how it ended. So my mom was in the living room and the door, it was closed, shut. The door flew open with this huge gust of wind, flew open and then immediately boom, and slammed shut. My mom stood up and she goes, "Leave us alone. If you're mad, don't be mad at us. We did nothing. You need to leave." And then it was just nothing ever happened for like a year and a half after that. And then she like retired and moved to Maryland.
And then got out of there.
Yeah. But like nothing happened after that.
Damn.
But like she had to like yell at like, so I don't know if like, I don't know what, but like I can't explain. I guess like you could explain the other ones like, oh, maybe the doors are just, I don't know, maybe the wind maybe just blew the door open and shut it. But like the apple one, I don't know how to explain that one.
Yeah, like topics like this always interest me because I'm never gonna not say it's not true. Yeah, because I don't know. You know what I mean? And that's why I don't know if you ever listen to Joe Rogan podcast, dude. But he dives into I
need to start doing.
Bro, he gets the craziest guests, and they dive into some of the craziest stories and topics that I'm literally driving Uber listening to it, and like I'm like, holy fuck, like I don't even know what's going on. I'm like sitting in traffic and I'm just like so engaged into this podcast. I'm like, tell me more, you know?
Our Uber driver just at the Christian French show. We were driving in an Uber and he was listening to Jeff Rogan. Like the Uber driver. That was the first time I ever listened to Jeff Rogan. I knew he was
Joe
like
Rogan.
Awesome. Yeah, Joe Rogan.
Yeah,
my bad.
That's all good. He is phenomenal. I would highly suggest listening to him. He does comedy too out here in LA at the Comedy Store all the time. But his podcasts, like what I love about them is they're long. They're like 2.5, 3 hours, and they go depth. Like they really get into some conversation. So if you're ever looking like to kill some time, highly
I love podcasts. I'm like not super into podcasts, but I have like 2 podcasts that I listen to. Is like one is the H3 podcast. Yep. Like H3.
Yep.
I love them.
Yep.
Like have their merch.
Yeah,
like
fire.
I love them.
Fire.
And then these guys, the Weekly Planet, and it's just like comic book, like movies and like all that kind of stuff.
Can I challenge you guys something? You talked about earlier about how you appreciate like the fans and you're like responding. I'm telling you, I mean, this is just me theoretically speaking. I think podcasts are going to continue to get huge. I would just in the back of your mind consider maybe one day, if the time was ever right, a Gianni and Kyle podcast. Once a month.
Thinking about
once
that.
a month, you guys just like, beautiful.
Yeah, it's in the works.
Yeah.
We're not gonna get into too much more of that, but like I think that'd be fire. You guys just shooting the shit. You talk about music, you talk about the team. You do like maybe a call-in show, whatever. It's only gonna build a stronger base.
Yeah.
Gonna get the more confidence, more you out there.
Yep.
You guys already probably enjoy making stuff. Just a little teaser.
Yeah.
But I will allow you to ask a question because I don't want to overlook that as well.
Oh yeah, that's okay. Fuck that question.
Yeah,
that's just fire though.
My question.
Definitely the first ghost any topic in 120
Dude,
plus.
I wish you had. I wish you had the answer. But
I'll get back to you.
There's still time.
Yeah.
To top that,
Okay.
my question.
All right, yo.
Is how long have you been growing your beard?
Oh, yeah.
Great question.
I didn't even give a shout out to the fact that we have 3 bearded men at this table today. Damn.
Gang.
That's
Big
already
beards.
that's like going into the podcast. That already makes this already a great podcast. You have 3 great bearded men.
This is special.
It's a special. It's a special.
It's a beautiful face of hair, man.
So that's a great question.
Yeah.
I first started. I had these just real narrow chin sideburns.
Yeah, take me on a journey
real sideburns. Dylan was the first one to line me up, and I'd go to his house every like 10 days, and he would just get his razor blade that he used to shave his face and just line it up. And I thought it was hot shit.
Yeah.
And then I went through the phase of like, they call me Bobby Burns, by the way.
That's so fire.
Thin ass sideburns, Bobby Burns. And then I started growing the beard, and it was super, super thin, just but like the illest chin strap. And I thought I was like
great.
sophomore year of high school. It was a junior year. I was the varsity basketball's manager. I used to play basketball. My homies were on the team, and then I started working a lot. So I left basketball knowing I'm never gonna play at varsity level because I just wasn't. I was like just the team guy. You know what I mean? Like I love being part of the energy, and I loved all my homies on the team. Anyway, so I had that ill chin strap.
I feel like everyone in high school that could grow like any facial hair has the chin
flex.
strap.
You had
Literally
to flex.
Ryan, my buddy Ryan, the one that I was with when I got the Hoodie Allen DM, he had the chin strap.
Bro,
100%.
He's. I think he still might be in my phone as Ryan Chinstrap.
Let's go.
I swear to God.
Ryan
Maybe.
Chinstrap. No, it's epic. And then in college, I think was when I really started to like let it kind of rock a little bit, like thicker. Pause.
Resume.
Like
What's
the
up?
whole face, and then it just it finally has kind of got to where it is today.
Beautiful.
And I see a barber too often taking all my money.
Yeah,
but it's definitely worth it. Ryan Chinstrap is actually a thing. You got to keep it in there.
Shout out Ryan.
I mean, now the fact that it's like to the point where it's like on coasters and shit, I pretty much locked myself
Beautiful.
into
you have
the
to do
bearded
the
man.
beard.
I like, dude, my Instagram bio first line is your favorite bearded man. So now I kind of screwed myself and locked myself in, but I'm like, I like this.
But you know exactly what to do if you ever want to rebrand.
100%.
Shave
Shave it. See ya. Or
like-
if I ever want to like go off the map and where
Yeah.
the fuck the bearded man go? Just
Yeah.
gone. So it's been a minute, man. The last time I've been clean shaven would probably well over 6 years. And I think I wasn't even clean shaven. I had done a goatee. I got sick of the chin strap. So let me try a goatee.
Yeah.
Hated it, so I let it grow back.
Beautiful.
And then ever since, just been.
Yeah,
been
I can't
rocking
do clean shaven.
No.
I like can't at all. It's like my face like hurts.
Yeah.
like I get like the
Dude.
razor burn.
Yeah,
like,
it's less maintenance.
over.
I don't have to shave my face every couple days. I'm like,
Yeah.
this shit's fire. Just go pay a barber and get myself broke.
Beautiful.
I just know it's fucked up because all throughout high school I was like growing I've always kind of just had this length, I guess, and then it's like he would always shave, and then he got this girlfriend, and she's like, you should shave you should like grow out your beard. I was telling him this for like 2 years, so I had never seen him with any facial hair. Like seriously, it would be like 2 days and he'd shave.
Wow.
This man can grow a better beard than me, and
I
I
really
was like,
can.
dude, I was supposed to be the beard guy. Like what the fuck?
I truly can.
I'm supposed to be the beard guy, and this guy just has the perfect beard.
Amen. Shout out God.
Shout out to the beard
shout out
gods.
God, yeah.
Shout out to the beard gods. I fucking love it. Closing questions. One, where can people find you guys on social media if they don't know where to find you?
Oh. At Gianni and Kyle.
At Gianni Kyle,
Yeah.
everywhere.
Everything.
Twitter,
Everything.
Instagram, Spotify, iTunes, YouTube, you name it.
It's
Gianni
dope. We're at the point now where it's like you just go on Google and you can just type
the name in.
You could literally just do Gianni Kyle. You don't even need the and if that's confusing.
Yeah.
It will pop up everywhere that you need. It'll just pop up.
And it's going to be confusing for you people? Just type the and.
Just drop the end. Just drop the end. Make sure you guys and gals go drop a bunch of Bearded Man emojis on their Instagram so they know you're coming from the Bearded Man podcast.
Yes.
And they're also bearded men, so it works out well. But before I ask the last question, I want to thank you guys for coming in today. This has been a fucking honor.
It's been the best.
This has been a great conversation.
We got to do this again sometime.
100%. I always, man, this shit is like, to me, it's get people on for that first podcast and then just let the relationship marinate. Yeah. One day when the time's right, we'll do a follow-up. Yeah. Maybe we'll even get you guys in here for a group pod. But I just respect it. Just hearing the story, honestly, like, it's just so it comes from such a genuine standpoint that it's hard for people not to want to see you guys succeed. Mm-hmm. Like, I've definitely in the past, I said this to you guys in the DM, like, probably in the last 12 months, I've seen your guys' name a lot everywhere. Your music continuously pops up in my random like shuffles on Spotify. But aside from the music, it's hearing the story today has only made me have like this, like grown to respect you guys even more just because of how genuine it is, how real you guys are, how authentic. It's just fucking awesome. Thanks, so I have a lot of respect, and I just want to see you guys keep crushing it, as I'm sure you guys are just fucking getting warmed up. So please just keep going, keep doing your thing.
We'll try our best.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. Yeah. Last question for you guys. For somebody that's listening, what would be, I usually open it and say best 2 to 3 pieces of advice for somebody that's trying to find a passion or trying to find a purpose. But since there's 2 of you, what's the one piece of advice you'd give to somebody that is listening that hasn't found that thing? Maybe he's in college, maybe he's about to graduate college and still doesn't know what to do. What would you say is the best thing that they do?
I have one thing, and I get this from my mom because she's retired and living in Florida, and she still doesn't know what she wants to do. So I would like to say, like, don't rush and don't just like be like, oh, I need to have a thing. Yeah. I think like if it'll definitely find you. Like my mom just like started painting coconuts and now she's like selling them on Etsy. But like that, and she just turned 45 years old. Like, so she just now found the thing, and all she does is wake up, play with the dogs, and she goes and like literally takes coconuts from like trees, palm trees or whatever, and like we'll just paint them and sell them. So don't rush it. Like, I had to work construction for like 3 years, like the worst work ever, until I really found like, yeah, okay, music's more than just like something that's like fun. Like I want to like do this. Yeah. Don't get like, I'd say don't get discouraged. Yeah. If you don't find your thing, like you will. Don't get discouraged. Yep. It's supposed to be fun.
Yeah. I feel like I would literally agree the exact same way. I've known what I've wanted to do since I was 6 years old, and I didn't even execute it until I was like 17, 18. I just got lucky, and I realized immediately what I wanted to do at a very young age. And with people around me and stuff, they feel like if they don't find their thing, they're like, that's a problem. And it's not. It's like I just got really lucky and figured out what I wanted to do. But if you don't have your thing yet, like, again, it will find you. Just take the time to like really, establish your life and enjoy life that's in front of you. Yeah. And once that thing comes along, it will. But don't put a negative aspect on your life of what you're dealing with right now just because you don't have your thing yet. Yeah. As soon as you find your thing, you're gonna know. Yeah. No matter what time frame that might be in. It might be when you're 40 and you might be tired making coconuts and selling on Etsy. You know what I mean? But like it could be young and you'll figure it out. But enjoy life for what it is. Don't just be like sad because you don't have something that you're passionate about yet. Go through the motions.
I mean, he knew when he was 6 he saw the thing. I just made a song for fun, and then when that happened I was like, oh, this is like fun. Like I put myself out there, I put myself out of my comfort zone. I was like, I never made a song, but like let me try it. And then like that allowed me to find that thing.
The most important thing, once you find it, do not be afraid to execute it. Because could like make or break you. Because if you find it, I've like talked to so many people who are like, I think I want to do this, but I'm like afraid of like doing this, and trying to like failing. Yeah,
it's like putting yourself out there.
You can't have that mindset. Yeah. Be in the mindset that it will work and it's going to work. And if it doesn't, I mean, you tried your best. Yeah. But like once you find your thing, execute it
full throttle.
That's the most important thing. Because again, what we were talking about, you don't want to be retired at that point and be like, what if? You don't want to think what if. Yeah. If you have it and you know you have it, go for it. That's it.
I love it.
Yeah.
Gianni and Kyle, baby. Let's go. It's been an absolute pleasure, guys. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you, man.
We'll catch you guys next time. See ya.